All right, welcome to cardio and mobility all in one. We are going to start off with connecting with our body. So we're just going to get onto our backs and do a little bit of breathing. I brought my paper with me because I have it all written down here. So we are going to just find our legs at 90 degrees, connecting how those feet feel to the floor. Connecting to how we our spine, like our 3-point spine, so right at our head, thinking about like between your shoulder blades, but almost like if you went on your sternum and then back behind there, that you feel connected to the ground. And then also just at the bottom of the spine, just feeling connected there. Maybe you want to do a little tuck and tilt of your pelvis just to really bring awareness. And then from here, I like to put my hands on my belly, but you can choose to put them on the side. And we're just going to go for 5 breaths. We're going to inhale through our nose and making connection to the ground and all around that cylinder of the core. Take a pause before you exhale through your nose and allow yourself to sink into the floor. Really inhaling as much air as you can, as gently as you can, and pausing and holding that in there for what feels natural. And then when it feels ready, you just exhale through your nose softly until it's all gone. And then a natural pause before you inhale. Feeling yourself relax. Not forcing this breath, but just creating space for it. And then let's go ahead and start to bring those exhales out our mouth. So we're going to inhale through our nose, soft like we're smelling flowers. Inhale all as big as you can. Maybe even when you think you have, give it a little extra inhale again. And then we're going to softly open that mouth, bite the tongue to the roof of your mouth, and we're going to exhale like we're fogging up a mirror. All the way out until we feel that core engaged right around those hip bones, and we feel that rib cage stack over top of the pelvis. Let's go for 4 more like that. Inhale, expand, exhale, gently let that pelvic floor come up and meet that diaphragm for a beautiful, strong, solid foundation in that core, your core magic. Inhale, expand, exhale, get strong. This time, what I want you to do on your exhale is find yourself in the dead bug position. So we're going to have our feet at 90, our knees at 90, our hips at 90, and our arms at 90. From here, let's coordinate our breath to start to wake up our core. So a nice big inhale. Fill, exhale, push like you're pushing on a pedal with one leg, and then just inhale in this position and exhale, bring it in. Inhale here, exhale, push, keeping that core on and taking a nice inhale and exhale, bring it back in. Let's do that 2 more on each side. Inhale, exhale, push, inhale, exhale, bring it in. Inhale, exhale, push, inhale, exhale, bring it in. Inhale, exhale, push, inhale, exhale, bring it in. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, bring it in. Woo! Give yourself a nice little hug. That core has started to wake up. Let's just bring ourselves up to a seated position and give ourselves some body rolls here. We'll just get 3 of those in each direction. Move over to the other side. Maybe you feel some sighs. Maybe there's a little bit of stress, excuse me, that needs to be released. And you can do that through your breath. And then we're just going to find ourselves up on a wall. Okay. We are going to get into we're going to take that core that we just woke up. We're going to get into some single leg deadlift. So you're going to put one heel onto the wall. Okay. You might need to get that foot out just a little bit first. And we're going to get that heel into the wall, and we're going to have 4 corners. Like we're going to actively be into the wall. You're going to start to feel the hamstrings engage. From here, I want you to think about this heel driving back. So what we're doing is creating these hips that are going to headlight forward. Shoulders are going to headlight forward. A soft knee bend. We're going to maintain that. Okay, while we drive. So it's almost like you're like squeezing those inner thighs and doing a slight rotation here. Okay, even here, I'm feeling it. So I'm going to take my breath. I'm going to go for a nice big inhale. And as I exhale, I'm going to hinge forward. And then I'm going to inhale up. And I'm going to exhale down. Really feeling like I'm pushing that bum back, feeling some great strength in through that glute. And really avoid hyperextending that leg. Keep a nice little soft bend in it and feel like you're pushing your seat bone back, keeping the rib cage stacked. Exhale up. We're going to go for 2 more. You should be feeling some good heat. How's that feeling? Feeling like you got that glute waking up? Let's go ahead and wake up the other side. We're just going to get them ready because we got some fun things happen for these legs today. All right, so let's go ahead, find that 4 corners of the feet, right? Both on the floor and on the wall. We're going to push into that wall to bring this hip forward. We're going to pull that heel towards the wall, squeeze those inner thighs together, right? We're going to take that breath, big inhale, exhale through the move. Inhale at the top, exhale. Feel like you're pushing that seat bone back, but the rib cage is still, and check in. Are the headlights still facing forward? We don't want to rotate. All right. Ooh, I'm feeling alive in the hamstrings and in that glute. Now, if you don't feel it there, just go ahead and make some adjustments, and mind-body connection matters. So if you know that's what you want to feel, go ahead and start to bring awareness to that part of your body, but also thinking about what the feet are doing will help. So drive the heel towards the wall, 4 corners in here, push those hips. I'm sure you guys are burning because I haven't been doing. Let's do 1 more. Woo! All right, walk that out, give your butt a little bit of a rub, and they are ready to work for us. We're gonna just come on up into a stand position here. And we're just gonna go through some rotations. Okay, so we're gonna do a little squat, but I want you to keep that glute on, okay? And then we're just going to rotate up. So like we're doing chops, we're just gonna feel good rotation through here. Exhale down and avoid this popping out. So now we've turned those on, they know to stop for us. So one more, and then we'll switch direction. So just, again, getting a nice rotation and then a strong glute on, okay? So we're gonna go. If you're doing a squat, avoid that knee. I just caught myself, this knee sneaking in. So we're gonna keep feet strong. See if you can't look behind you in that rotation. All right, we're starting to warm up, right? We're just gonna find ourselves into a inchworm flow here. So let's go ahead, take that hinge we just did, rib cage in, walk ourselves out till we get to a plank position, and then drop those hips close to our wrists. And we're just gonna look over each shoulder, roll ourselves down into a shoulder clock on each side, which means armpit down and the four corners of the hands on the floor, over. We're then going to squeeze down, press ourselves back up, pump our heels out a little bit in that down dog. Walking that in, bend your knees as you need to, and spinal roll up. We're gonna reach our arms overhead and go for a side bend on each side. And then we'll forward fold again and walk that out till we get to plank position. And then start to look up and let that opening up of the front body, make sure you're not sinking in, push away the floor, keep a tall sternum, roll that down. Start to feel that you're squeezing into those shoulder blades. Good, and then over on each side. And we're gonna squeeze that down, four corners of the hand, press ourselves up. Go ahead, press into down dog, pump out those heels a little bit, and then walk four corner hands towards your feet. Bend your knees as you need to find the four corners of your feet. So you may be very bent here. That's awesome. You're listening to your body. Tuck your chin and then think vertebrae by vertebrae. Noticing what's happening in the core, that you're controlling this. And then bring those arms up overhead. And we'll reach to each side. And we're going to go ahead and do one more of these. So forward fold, feel that hamstring tension, seat bones back, heels. All right, are heading back behind us. Four corners of the hands, bend your knees as you need to find that positioning. All right, go ahead and let the shoulders come over the wrists, bringing those hips as close as we can, looking over each shoulder. And then controlling. So shoulders are away from the ears, drive the elbows back, four corners, stay on the mat. And I want you to see if you can control it. So stop here. Notice if you've let things go. Squeeze in and then control and then pause. Just keep doing little check-ins that you didn't just drop in, but you're making creative changes in your body. Focus changes. We're moving into those shoulder clocks. Giving yourself some good stretches here. I have lots of sighs coming out today. I just lost my microphone here, so give me a sec. And then we're going to squeeze back, elbows in, four corners, press ourselves back up. And we're going to go ahead, put the head through the window of the arms, pump out those heels best that we can, getting stretched through those calves and the hamstrings. We're going to use them today. Keep your head through the window of your arms. Now, you can bend your knees to do so if you need to before your heels get on the ground. And then from here, you're just going to slowly and controlled roll up. And then we'll just stretch. See if you can't get a little bit further. And while we're here, I want you to go for a nice big inhale. Fill up that diaphragm and notice you can stretch from the inside on that rib cage. So big inhale. And then just relax and see if you can't go a little bit further. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. Really feel that expansion and then exhale. Sink into it. Let's go ahead and do that on the other side. Reaching over and inhale. Fill it up. And exhale, sink a little more. We'll do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Ooh, that one felt spicy for me. Definitely different on one side than the other. Let's just give that a little shift Any kind of movement that your body's asking, just shake it out. And we're going to start to take our core, take everything that we've been working on. We're going to start to move our body. We're going to do a little bit of running on the spot, but a little bit of hamstring stretch. Okay, so I want you to do what feels natural. I don't want you to get caught up in how many steps you need to do. We're just going to run on the spot, then put our heel out and do a nice sweep. And then run on the spot, and then with the other one. All right, use your breath here. So until it feels natural. There's no right or wrong. We're just getting that heart rate up, getting a nice stretch, taking what we've already applied and pushing the seat bone back, keeping the rib cage over top of the pelvis. And we're just going to start to wake up that body. Make sure you're breathing. Give yourself extra sweeps if you want. Create this to be your own. And just enjoying getting that heart rate up, feeling connected to the ground, feeling like we're waking up the power. That's where all our power comes from, in those hamstrings. We're going to get 3 more on each side. All right, make sure that you're breathing. Checking in. Good. Just feeling like we are starting to lubricate that body, give our joints some good nutrition with some good blood flow, and then just take a little break. Maybe a little side to side action. I'm encouraging you to add your own flair, your own movement between these. Let's practice breathing through our nose here for a second. And try and bring that heart rate down. So lots of practice in here in just getting our body moving the way it can, connecting with our breath to notice how it can recover us, how it can give us endurance, how you can breathe through to keep moving. Also, you can breathe into movements to make you feel stronger. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to run on the spot again. All right, and then you're going to take one leg back and we're going to go for a nice hip flexor stretch. And then you're going to run, and then you're going to take a hip flexor stretch. Again, I want you to take away the anxiety of how many steps and then go. Just go with it and just go until it feels like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go on the other side. Try to trust and just feel it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just want to get that body moving, okay? So let's go ahead or run. We'll take that back leg and we're going to slow that down. So it's like a quick pace into a slow. You should feel a good stretch. Go as far as you can, then come back up. And then you're going to go for some quick runs and then slow it down. Enjoy your stretch. Quick runs and slow it down. All right, make sure you're breathing. Good. And we're just going to get a bunch of these in. A little bit of cardio, a little bit of mobility, a little multitasking. Good. Making sure that core stays on. And of course, if you're not doing high impact, you are here, but you are still have things on. Sometimes if we think we're not impact, then we start doing weird chicken things to try and compensate. Keep your core the same. Don't leave off the ground, but act as if you are and use the same kind of force, the same kind of energy, same kind of breath. Quick, 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 and slow. Quick, 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 and slow. Let's get one more on each side. Quick, quick, quick. Oh, my legs are burning. Woo, good job. Keep it up. Nice. Okay, let's just take a break and breathe through that nose again. Maybe you want to give yourself a little stretch here. Good. What are we doing next? Oh, we're just going to have a little bit of some stretch. We're just going to get in and have a very balanced workout today. So we're going to get on all fours. All right. While we're in all fours, before we do this, and we're going to spend some time here, let's just get into some wrist mobility. So let's just do some half circles here. I feel it'll be easier for you to see this. four corners of the hands. Look how spread my fingers are. Shoulders are going to start over top of my wrist, and I'm going to push. So I'm not sunk in and there's no bend in my elbows. Really matters if that first knuckle's into the ground. Okay, push, and then we're just going to take that rib cage stacked over top of the pelvis and bring it over in front of my wrists, back and forth. Getting some good stretches there. Now we're going to go side to side and rock that. Careful you didn't sink in. Rock that side to side. Some good stretches here. And then we'll bring them back behind us and just rocking that back and forth. And what I like to do here is that I'm also getting into that first toe joint. Okay, make sure I'm not rounding out. I'm only going into areas that feel good. Now, the closer that these are, the less of a intense stretch it will be, the further you go. Pretty spicy over here. All right. Just listening to your body and making sure you're not making compensating. So I just caught myself with my rib cage out. So I'm going to tuck that in and then go ahead and give those stretches. We'll just come on the back sides of these wrists for a second here. And then we're just going to give ourselves a little bit of stretching here, okay? So thread the needle first. We're going to take this arm and we're going to reach through and then rotate up. Go ahead, keeping that nice strong hand, four corners, and then reach up. Now, something that really, really helps here is that you're going to inhale on the stretchy points. So if we inhale here, and then we're going to exhale, hold up here and give yourself an inhale and feel that stretch from the inside. And see if you can't rotate a little bit more. And then exhale through. And then in here, I want you to think that you're using the floor as leverage. You're pushing the back of your wrist into the floor, and you're pushing that shoulder blade in the opposite direction and give an inhale in there. And then exhale, move it through. And then here, inhale, fill your canister up, and then see if you can't reach a little more. And then exhale, come on through. We'll do that one more time. Use the floor as leverage and inhale. And exhale all the way through. And inhale. And see if you can't look over that shoulder a little more. And then we'll just go ahead and switch that to the other side. So let's go ahead and come through. Inhale in this position. And then exhale. Inhale here. See if you can't get a little bit further. And then exhale. Through we go. And really using that floor as leverage. Shoulders going in the opposite direction with an inhale. And then exhale. And inhale. And reach. And exhale through. Inhale. Stretch. And exhale, move. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, move. This will be our last one. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, move. Inhale, stretch. And then we're just going to stay on this position and take one leg out. Okay. And we are just going to rock that back and forth. Now notice I have four corners of my feet and my hands. Rib cage is staying in. I'm getting a nice foot stretch there. Only go to what's available. Find that plank line here and then going as far as you can without losing that 3-point spine. Now, when you're down here, give this a nice inhale. Breathe into tight areas and then exhale, come on up. And then we'll do that same thing down. Let's inhale in the tight spots. Feel like you're expanding into those tighter areas and exhale up. Really checking in. This can be good core work as well. Each one, what am I doing with the seat bone? I'm pushing it back. Let's get one more and we'll switch sides. I feel a good stretch right in front of my ankle as well as I'm trying to anchor four corners. into the floor, and I'm pushing my seat bones back while my rib cage is stacked over top of my pelvis. Let's go ahead and just shift that to the other side. You may find one side feels different than the other. That is quite normal, and it's just information for us. All right, let's go ahead and go for a nice inhale. What we're doing here is just getting curious on our body. We're not judging it. We're just like, oh, making awareness, connecting with it, speaking its language, and just giving it gentle thoughts and gentle kindness and gentle breaths and gentle movement. Just hitting that edge, no pain, just enough that you feel like you're just feeling like a good stretch, like it feels on the edge of good and you're not sure, like, oh, that's making change, right? Inhaling in those tight spots. So expanding and filling yourself with air. So you fill your diaphragm and then you extend that breath into the tight areas. This ankle for me is super tight. I'm going to get 2 more of those. Just adjusting wherever you need. So don't feel the pressure to go past your limits. You're going to honor them, listen to them. So I'm finding now as I go down, my foot's releasing. That's letting me know, let's just go here. Because then I start to feel my knee and I'm honoring that and listening. And if I don't go there, to past that limit, now I feel a good stretch back in this glute. So what I need you to do is be aware of what's happening in your body, not looking at how I'm doing it and seeing if you can create the same, but know that you just want to feel a good stretch. And do I feel it? Does it feel safe? Does it feel good in my body? All right, we're getting into some core work now, okay? We've just woken up, those hips, the core, we have blood flow flowing. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna do kind of like a sneaky little mobility burpee. So we're gonna find ourselves in all fours here. We're gonna use our breath, we're pushing through those hands that we've already practiced. Nice big inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, turn that core on. So now we have that 3-point spine, just like we were laying down. And we're gonna hover our knees, okay? Feeling that strength. So you don't wanna rise up too high, just hover the knees. Seat bones are driving back like they did in that dead bug. Let's go ahead and rise those seat bones up to the ceiling and pump out those heels for a second. And then we're gonna go ahead, find ourselves back in beast, and then jump up into a squat and stand up. We're then gonna squat, find ourselves back in beast, and then down dog. If it doesn't feel available to hop it, no worries. Step, step, stand up, down, step, step. Just make sure that you're alternating the legs that you press up with, all right? So you can hop that, down dog, and down, and stand up, core on strong, getting some good squats, good core, and just going at this at your own pace, coordinating with your breath. Remember, inhales can help stretch, exhales really help with turning on the core to move through transitions into each position. Really just making sure you're breathing and finding that core strength. And we're just gonna hang out here for a bit. Might be a little burny. You're doing a great job. Let's get about 5 more. I know, spicy, but we want that heart rate up. We want to get strong. We want to feel connected to our bodies. We need to feel the need to use our breath to check in. Am I someone that holds my breath when it gets hard? A good exhale can help me feel stronger and give me nourishing oxygen to help me fuel these movements rather than holding my breath and making them harder for myself. Okay. Woo. Just take a moment to breathe in through the nose. Nice big inhale. And exhale. We're going to get 5 of those breaths. So as you're doing these breaths, this is something that you can take into your life. When you feel your heart rate get up, when you've been through something kind of stressful, we're going to practice trying to lengthen those breaths through our nose. Inhales, long and soft, gentle, peaceful pauses before we exhale that just feel natural. You're not like holding in, you're just noticing what's available. And then peaceful exhale through the nose. And then again, that response, that creating space before you feel like you have to inhale again. And it takes practice, but the more you do it, the more your brain will get on board and really thank you for doing it, because it gives it the food that it needs, the oxygen that it needs. It helps you slow down enough. It helps your brain know that you're no longer in a stress state, and we can go ahead and be safe and perform at our best for our next exercise. So we're going to do some high knees again, okay? And we're going to go across our mat sideways. We are then going to do a curtsy. So let's just talk about that curtsy. So just as if we were on the wall, we need the hips to be forward, and we're going to tuck our leg behind us, all right? And what we're going to do today in this curtsy is forward fold. So we got to keep that glute on like we did at the wall, and then we're going to come on up, okay? So it looks like, again, hard, like go fast and then slow, fast and then slow. So we're going to take like as if we were in dead bug. That's what high knees are, right? We were in dead bug, and we're going to high knee, and then we're going to take that leg, curtsy, and touch your toes, and then control, and you're going to get some good stretches through those glutes that are working hard for you. And we're just going to cross and let's go. Let's get our little sweat on. You want to be in control when we're doing these. Okay, so see how many steps you can get across that mat. Can you get lots of quick ones? And press down. Good. Push the seat bones back. Remember, hips want to be facing forward. Imagine what you did on the wall, taking it to action here. Ooh. Good. Keep going. We're going to get like 4 more on each side. Good. Feel that great stretch? Feel that heart working? We're growing that heart. Woo, it's pumping, getting more efficient for us. And just able to give it blood flow throughout the whole body. We're nourishing our body through oxygen and blood right now, and positive thoughts. Let's go. Smile. Woo. That tricks your brain. And it will bring your breath rate down if you're smiling, and your heart rate kind of crazy. But our bodies work like that. Take your break, and when you're doing, breathe in through your nose. We are training our central nervous system today, letting it know that we're in charge. We are getting cardio, butt mobility. We're keeping that core on. We're getting lots done. We're thinking about our movement in new ways today. Okay. We are going to work those legs a little bit more. We're going to do some sumo squats, but we're going to also nourish those hips with some rotations. Okay, so sumo squats, we're going to get wider. But the most important part is you're going to choose your width that you can still keep your knees tracking over your toes. So if you go here and you squat and your knees are in here, we need to make sure we bring that in. And we also have to take everything that we've practiced so far today. So belly expand on, rib cage over top of the pelvis, hips are shooting back. And what we're going to do is we're going to go for 3 squats, 2, 3. Then we're going to find some control and do a hip circle on each side. And then we're going to 3 squats. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to find that hip circle, and 3 squats. Then find control. There's a lot of core work in finding these big circles. All right, big circles. And then 1, 2, 3, nice and wide. We'll feel those deep in the groin. And then you're gonna come on, find that balance, big hip circle, find your feet. Oh, we gotta do it on both sides, apologize. Hip circles, 3 squats, 1, 2, 3. And then that big hip circle, step, big hip circle. You're working some real small little glute muscles in there too. 2, 3. And lower abdominals need to be on. Pelvis needs to be stabilized. So also thinking about what your hamstrings are doing here. So drive your heels back as you're in your balance with that soft knee bend, right, that we practice at the wall. That's what this leg is doing. And then you will stabilize that pelvis. Even just take a second and think about drive the heels back and then do that hip circle. Notice how much stronger you feel when we include our hamstrings in these moves. So I want you to take time to find the balance and notice how hard that might be for you, right? That's letting you know something about yourself. Maybe that you haven't engaged or physically, but also what does that feel like mentally for you as well? Like, do you think, oh my gosh, I just want to get this workout in. Why are you making me focus on this movement? This feels hard. I'd rather just go. And yeah, you could do it, but are you making the change that you want? It's better to be more focused. Good, I want you to get one more of those before we move on to our more lunges, more leg work. All right, feeling good? A little bit of just seeing that you're finishing up there. Good, how those hip circles feel? They good, Kate? Yeah, awesome. Okay, so what we're doing is we are moving on into a Cossack lunge to a lunge. All right, so we're gonna stay in nice and wide here. Might face the camera a little bit better here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find ourselves nice and deep in this lunge to the side. You can lift up your foot and get a little bit higher, but I don't wanna see you rotate like I did. Okay, so you wanna make sure that you just go as far as it you have available. Then you're gonna rotate and lunge this way. All right, so we're just gonna practice that. We're gonna get 10 of these on each side, waking up those legs, push that bum back, feeling that you get those legs in 90-90, paying attention if you're not hanging on to what we've already practiced, right? What does that glute have to do? What's that hamstring doing? That's where we stop those lunges. So you may find you're here. I want you to honor that. I want you to wake up these muscles. Why do we need these? These are gonna keep us aging like rock stars. We need these muscles to get up and down off the floor. We need them if we slip and fall. We need them to not break a hip. Okay, so make sure that you wake up these little muscles that most of us haven't been letting do their job. All right, I've been counting. I'm gonna go for like 3 more on this side and then we'll switch. Okay, over to the other side. So remembering, get wide, that's gonna help. And then find that stop spot. I've turned, I gotta make sure I didn't. Okay, this one's hard for me too. And I'm going to slow it down and find the right spot where I am working and making change and in control. If you want abdominal work, you need to focus on this, okay? When we shift and turn, that lets us know hamstrings weren't on, and neither was the lower abdominals. So take all your breath work, take what we've been practicing. Good. And again, you can come lower as long as you feel like that's active on that side. So I'm feeling the burn here. Good. Go ahead and get 4 more on each side. I know when we're focusing, it's hard to count, right? Good. Just keep going, remembering what you want to think about. Good. Drive out of the bottom, then rotate and feel that good hip flexor because we've already done that stretch. We already did that in the beginning. Good. I want to check in on the time. Oh yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. Okay. How are we doing? Done those? All right. So catch in with your breath and breathing through your nose as you watch what we're going to do next. Okay. We are going to go back to our high knees. We'll just stay in one spot. we're gonna focus a little more on those hip circles, and we're gonna take those single leg deadlifts that we did, and we are going to do the same kind of thing. Quick, quick, quick. And then you're gonna take this leg and bring it around. Keep the hips facing forward. Ooh, and then find that single leg deadlift and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And control, hips squared. Imagine that it's at the wall. I find keeping it like as if it was on the wall easier because sometimes when I straighten out, I want to rotate that pelvis. So you're going to go ahead and get 5 of those on each side. Here we go. So nice and quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And stop and control that hip circle. And find your balance. Come on up. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hip circle. And reach if it's available, but toe needs to be facing towards the floor and heel to the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. You can make those honeys as intense as you want. Remember to use your breath. Good. I like to bring this arm in here because it reminds me to keep this side. So if it falls to the side, I let my other part of my body go to the other way, right? 3, 4, 5. And circle. And find the 4 corners of the feet and give yourself those training wheels just like I am. Find something to focus on. I'm going to do that. I'm watching myself move, so it's making it trickier. Good. 2 more on each side. Oh, I'm having trouble with my own balance here. Good. Reset. That's what I do. I stop if I feel out of balance and regain it. Don't feel the need to keep moving when I'm off balance. Another amazing life lesson. Find your balance, dial back so you feel confident, in control, empowered, and not like you're just flailing, but you're like, I'm strong, I'm balanced, I'm grounded. You cannot push me over because I am in control. I found my strength within, physically, mentally, and emotionally, all by practicing this time and connecting with myself. Okay, I'm getting sweaty. Whew. All right. And what are we doing next? We are going to get into some beast kick throughs. Okay, so we're going to work on some more core work here. Okay, coming on down. Fingers are all splayed out, right? 4 corners, shoulders over top of the wrist, pressing through. Let's curl those back toes and use our breath. I'm going to just turn to the side here. Use your breath. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Feel the lower abdominals on. Seat bones are driving back. Hamstrings, think about turning them on because they're going to help keep that pelvis stable for you. What we're going to do in our kick through today is we're going to hover into a beast. Now, the very first thing that you can do is just think about keeping this active shoulder and tap, not sink, tap your hip close to your wrist. That could be your first one. Come back into beast. All right. That's where you would be. You just find the strength here, or we're going to kick through, squeeze the shoulder. Notice my hips stay low. I don't get high, and I'm very close hip towards the wrist. So let's go ahead and get 10 of those each side. All right, so we're here, kicking through. We feel that active shoulder. We're not sinking in. We're thinking about where the seat bones are going. Always pushing back. Lower abdominals on, hamstrings are on. Remembering it can be here, like a little mini crab. Always find the center. Take rest if you need. If you need to reset, give yourself a wrist stretch if you need. And you can be practicing hovering in that beast too. Just take this time to meet yourself where you're at, where you're working in your core. And working through the upper body as well, which is your core. Finding your strength here. Good. Good. Let's get about 3 more on each side. Feeling those lower abdominals. Taking breaks as we need to make sure we haven't got into ugly movements. Woo. All right. Take that time to breathe through your nose. Oh, we just have 2 more things. And then we are going to be done, and we'll just finish with some breathing. I'm sweaty, right? Working, feeling pretty good. Like joints are working well, core's tingling. And we're just gonna take that into a little bit of a shuffle sideways. So it's gonna be more of like a step and then a lunge to touch. Okay, so we're gonna step, lunge to touch, step, lunge to touch, okay? So let's go ahead and let's spice it up. Let's get 20, so total 40. All right, let's do it together. And again, you can still be here and quickly moving and holding into strength, okay? Here we go. So 1, 2, remember what we want to think about. Keep that chest up, thinking about waking up those glutes. Uh-oh, I already lost count. I think this is 10 here. All right, we can do that 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that core on. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Push those sheet bones back. 15. Keep those glutes on. 16. Try not to look at the ground. Look up. 18, 19, 20. We only have 10 more to go. Let's do it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Woo! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk and breathe. Walk and breathe. And it can be hard. I'm finding it hard to get through that nose. The more I stay focused on it, the easier it becomes. I don't judge myself when I have to take that breath through my nose. I just know I'm not ready to move to the next thing yet. Okay, so this is your little meter of you knowing if you are ready. So sometimes we push into things that we're not ready with, knowing that taking a little breath and controlling that breath so that you can find space, and it's mainly from that inhale, from the, like after the exhale and that pause from that inhale, if you can peacefully do that, and the more you practice that, the better you get at it, the stronger you're going to come for the next thing in your life, the next stress, the next thing that's going to show up. You're not in a state of like, oh, I can't do it, I'm not feeling safe. You're going to create space and safety through your breath. Okay? So one more thing to do before we just are going to lay on the ground and breathe, because we've done all our mobility in our workout today while we got sweaty, while we worked our core, while we got stronger in those really good accessory muscles today. Okay, so we're going back into the like the burpees again. We're gonna do that one again. All right, this time we're gonna just add 3 squats at the top. Okay, so it's gonna look like this. You're gonna start in your beast. You're gonna down dog. You're gonna beast. You're gonna come here and you're gonna go for 3 squats. You're gonna come back here, up, down, up, and 3 squats. We're doing 10 reps of this, okay? Go ahead and start moving it. Get 10 reps. That's gonna be 30 squats. It's gonna be, or no. Yeah, it is. Don't worry about my math. I'm going to focus more on teaching you what you're doing, not math. All right. So remember to have your knees, seat bones back, seat bones up, and you can step it and squat. Only go where your core's on. Stay in control. If you're stepping, I want you to try both legs. Okay, we want to be able, right? Always going to be able to control what leg is going to need to do the work in our life. Make sure you're using your breath. Positive thoughts. I can, I will, I do, I'm awesome. Whew. I'm changing my body. I'm in control. I do hard things to make me awesome. When it gets hard, go to your breath and go to your thoughts and let your body know, I hear you. I'm with you. We are in this together. Let's create a new path, a new change. We are going to find this easy very soon if we work together. All right. Let that voice be heard, but let it know it's not in charge. All right. And honor it. Maybe you need a little breather to have that little pep talk, to have that little breath. All right. Just honoring and listening and talking to your body in the language it knows best, through movement and breath and your thoughts. Good. I'm gonna get 2 more of these after this rep. I'm thinking that might be 10. And again, this is the best part. It doesn't really matter the numbers. It mattered that you stayed focused on something and made change for a certain amount of time. And doesn't matter how many reps you got. It's how good you feel. Did you feel you made change? Ooh. Take that breath. I want you to walk around and try and find control of that breath before we lay down. Gotta be feeling good now. Gotta be feeling good. You're sweaty. You feel like, hey, let's just do some hip circles. Let's notice our shoulders. Hey, we're rotating a little bit different than when we started. We have blood flow and lots of oxygen, lots of nourishing things happening in our body right now. And let's just go enjoy and celebrate it. So we're just gonna lay down in the biggest starfish that you can and take up as much space as you can. All right. And just come for some breaths here. So nice big inhale through your nose. Fill yourself up. Feel yourself relaxing. Enjoy the peaceful pause before you softly exhale through your nose. And gently feeling that response, time that gentle pause before you have to exhale through your nose again. Remembering that we want to feel our connection to the floor, so we feel our legs, our bum, our arms, our hands, our heels, head. And then you're going to take one of your legs and bring it in for a nice hug. Give it some hip circles, 3 in each direction. And switch it out, direction. And then bring that across your body to feel the glute stretch of those muscles you worked so hard. And then reach that arm out, looking at that arm, breathing into that rib cage to expand and sinking in with the exhale. And then go ahead, roll yourself back and bring that other leg in. Still connected to your breath. Adding hip circles, 3 in each direction. And then bring that leg across, feel that beautiful stretch, reaching that arm, looking towards that arm. Eyes can be closed, but your head tilted that way. And using your breath here again to stretch from the inside. Bring that back. And we're just going to go ahead and roll ourselves over into a child's pose. We're just going to bring our arms to one side, our hips to the other. We're going to put our ear on our bicep, our thumb towards the ceiling, and we're going to enjoy that stretch to that upper back. Nice big inhale. Exhale, sink in. Reaching your finger and your hip away from each other. Switch over to the other side. Thumb up, bicep on ear. Fingers are reaching in one direction and the same side hip is reaching in the opposite direction. And use your breath here. And then go ahead. I find I like to put my fists on top of each other and find a real peaceful place here. You could put your forehead on the ground, wherever it feels right for you. And you're just going to give yourself 5 last breaths here. Each breath is making you feel more and more relaxed. You're letting your body know that it is done work and it's okay to start taking action to take your work and make it work for you. Thanking your body for showing up for you. And then slowly start to wake yourself up. Don't move up into a seated position too quickly. Just take your time, maybe a little bit of flow. And our body really does speak in body language. So just like you would at the end, I'm just going to be doing some circles here. Just like you would at the end of a day that was really challenging for you, you would maybe sink into the couch and give yourself what kind of breath? What would that look like, right? I'm so glad that I made it through that. Let's do that. Let's do 3 of those breaths. All right. So here we go. Nice big inhale. And bring it right through your center. And even just putting your hands like this, it symbolizes thank you. So let's go ahead and do that again. Nice big inhale and thanking our bodies and letting them know they did a good job and that they can just celebrate themselves and take all their hard work and feel so good for the rest of the day. Awesome job. I hope you feel connected, a little bit of love for yourself, some compassion, and have the most amazing day.